This program is brought to you by Emory University.
Ladies and gentlemen of this esteemed Emory University, Namaste and good evening. Good evening from the pink city of Jaipur, India. Jaipur is India's most prominent tourist destination, but I want to give you more reasons to visit it. I bring the hopes and aspirations of the largest democracy in the world to the second largest democracy in the world. There is a yearning, a strong desire, and an urgent need to have amidst us an educational institution that would serve as a benchmark for quality higher education. I put forth before you a country that is today an information superpower with its vast human resources, but needs a research center from the world's greatest economic superpower to provide an infrastructure to its students that will enable them to create an impact in the world that we live in. I carry with me the entrepreneurial spirit of a country at the threshold of innovation and ask the country that invented the concept of entrepreneurship to help us establish a center of excellence that would be the birthplace of innovative research. I lug with me a bag full of goodies for my friends in the US, and I hope to carry back some for my friends back home in India. It's my proud privilege to stand before this august gathering today and address you on the step-by-step search for innovative academia partnership to bridge the education gap. I would like to thank Provost Holly Simetko, Director Hawley Institute, and with her, Jessica and Evan, and everyone in the Emory University who've toiled and worked so hard for making this trip of mine so special. Shabnam, Lucky Bhaiya, you mean the world to me, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for knowing that I do something in education to bring up children. We are currently running step-by-step high school K-12 and 3 preschools K-1 that have a combined strength of 3,200 children. I began with 1 student from my garage. I'd passed out of school and college, and I really didn't have much to do, and I was getting so bored. So I thought, let me just be with kids whom I was so fond of. And this number kept growing. And in my house, I could accommodate no more than 100 kids. And that's when I began my first kindergarten. And I was just fortunate and lucky that the CM then kind of believed in me. I collected some money after the Kargil war, and we went to the CM to give him that check. And he said, why don't you open a big school? When I told him that I don't have a trust, I don't have enough finances, he very readily helped me by allotting me a piece of land. And I think we put in every penny of ours to construct that building. And today, I feel so happy that I'm parenting so many kids. We're the only international school in the state of Rajasthan, and we're doing the International Baccalaureate, that's the IB. We do the PYP, the primary years program, the middle years program, and the diploma program. We also do the IGCSE, the UK Cambridge Board, and of course our CBSE K-12. We've been running the international program for the last 4 years, and I've already placed students in various universities in the US, Canada, UK, Singapore, Australia, and India. When we cannot take our children around the world, we strive to bring the world to our children. We're always looking and searching for the best educational practices from around the globe. During the summers, our students have been going for Johns Hopkins University's CTY program. That's the Center for Talented Youth. That's Shashwat Gupta, my grade 5 grade student, and who did so well. We have Disha Sethi, who also went to Johns Hopkins, and they're all graduating there for their summer program with a 99 percentile. It just gives me great pleasure and pride. That's Resham Kapoor of the 11th standard, and we have Divya and Radhika at Parsons School of Design. That's Aman. He went to Stanford University, and today he's at Urbana-Champaign, and he's heading the iFoundry there with a 4-point GPA, and he's on their website front page. This is Tanay, and he's presently at Bloomington, and he's doing his business management there. International mindedness is a way of life with us as we prepare our students to become self-learners in a global village. We remain rooted to tradition and ready to face the world, or rather ready to embrace the world. This is Salman Rushdie, who came into school while he was in Jaipur for the Literature Festival. And we were so fortunate to have him with us in school. It gave me so much pride and pleasure when he, in front of a very august gathering, the NDTV was interviewing him. And he was kind enough to say that his visit to Step by Step was probably the most memorable and the most fruitful one. Felt really good about that. This is our present Chief Minister, Mr. Ashok Gehlot, and I owe it to him for helping me, for holding our hands, and helping me establish an institute. He's back into his power, and he's also currently the Chief Minister today. This is Sachin Pilot. He's a Wharton School graduate, and he's our Minister for Communication and Information Technology. He was our chief guest for the Founders' Day. Yeah, that gives me a great joy that we had 44 students selected in IIT joint entrance exam in 2009. It was a national record, and I had the chief minister calling on me while I was on a holiday in the US, and he sent me his blessings over the phone. I felt totally good about this. Last year we had 24 students make it to IIT, and I hope that we're going to have another 24, and we hope to create this success year after year. We are currently in the process of constructing Step by Step Globetrotters International School in a 25-acre campus located near Mahindra World City Special Economic Zone. This is the SEZ. This is where the new activity, New Jaipur, is emerging. We have Wipro, Infosys, Shell, Deutsche Bank, and numerous others who are coming up here to put in their stake. The school and the university that we planned, it's about 1.5 kilometers from Mahindra World City. And this is what the new international school looks like. It has state-of-the-art facilities. We were inspired by the Cinderella's castle in Orlando. In fact, I took my architect there, and we camped for a week, and we dreamt like how every child would dream. We've tied up with Mahesh Bhupati Cricket Academy, Tennis Academy. We've tied up with Cricket Australia, Bretley. It has huge play fields, centrally air-conditioned, state-of-the-art laboratories, an indoor swimming pool. We also have association with Shamak Davar Institute of Performing Arts, and he's the guy who does Broadway here, and he did the Commonwealth Games, the opening ceremony. And he took a bunch of my students to perform at the Commonwealth too. Helen O'Grady Theatre Academy is also one of our partners in school. This school will be a totally international school, and it heralds the arrival of Jaipur as an international information technology and industrial destination. Jaipur. Jaipur is the capital of India's largest state, Rajasthan, in a city with a legacy of over 280 years. One of India's best planned cities, Jaipur offers excellent infrastructure and facilities essential for making of a metropolis and an ideal business city. It has an international airport and is well connected by air, rail, and road to India's major cities. Can I keep that? Okay, we come back to it. I don't know, I lost the map of India. It is only 3 hours away from New Delhi International Airport. It is India's most visited city, both by domestic and international tourists. Its location close to the National Capital Region of New Delhi has given a great boost to the development, and today Jaipur serves as a conduit between North India and the ports of Western Coast. A Japanese industrial hub has come up in the state where Honda is setting up a factory. This area will have another international airport very soon. This area is renowned for its tourist destination, and Jaipur offers a cosmopolitan lifestyle with a good quality social infrastructure in terms of malls, hotels, hospitals, everything that you can think of. In school, when we're practicing the IB curriculum, we generally focus on inquiry. When we do inquiry, it helps our children to understand that knowledge is not enough. You need to be inquirers all through your life. And this is in sync with Emory, where courageous inquiry leads. It fits perfectly into our strategic plan of enhancing the educational experience through inquiry. Inquiry to me is not just putting on spectacles and looking intelligent. On a more serious note, inquiry to me is questioning all that we see around us and finding a reason why things are the way they are, and then seeking to find ways of improving things to have greater relevance in our dynamic, changing world. We seek to do this in our curriculum, which we have been given the liberty to draft within some broad parameters. When we study civilizations, we like to understand why and how they came about. But more importantly, what is the legacy and relevance of that civilization in today's context? Despite the enactment of the Right to Education Act in India, the standard of school education, especially outside the major cities, is far from satisfactory. The possibility of people coming out of rural schools and going to eminent universities is virtually non-existent. And this is why I feel that we need a high-quality higher education university to come up in northern India and in Jaipur. This has been the qualitative deterioration in a knowledge society, and this is creating a self-perpetuating elite and a permanent underclass of people. To address this issue, we are seeking to replicate a high school model and take it to the entire state of Rajasthan. First the largest towns, and then the smaller ones, and finally to the villages. The economic disparities that exist in a lesser developed country like India can only be conquered by taking high-quality education down to the masses. We set the ball rolling in this direction just last fortnight, when a US technology innovation delegation led by Mr. Aneesh Chopra, Chief Technology Officer, US, and Mr. Alec Ross, Innovation Advisor to Secretary of State, visited Rajasthan on September 15, 2010. And I was privileged to be accompanying them on this delegation and interacting with them regarding further opportunities in the field of education. Fruitful discussions with members of this delegation from the government as well as venture capitals have opened up a dialogue which is expected to yield tangible results in the not-too-distant future. My dream of providing the best practices in school education to those who've been excluded from this so far seems to be on its way. I'm looking for it, looking for venture capital and technology to help me in this mission. From this delegation, We had Neeru Khosla of CK12 Foundation, Tom Vander Ark, private equity investor in education and partner in Vander Artcliffe Revolution Learning, and Sriram Vishwanathan, Vice President, Intel Architecture Group. GM YMAX program office visiting our school and interacting with our students and teachers. We now look forward to a visit from President Obama in November this year. A new Indo-US strategic alliance is taking shape and humanity will benefit from it. I have another dream for my country and myself. We need to make sure that we produce college graduates who are truly, truly employable and have acquired education with integrity and purpose. Quality is what we should be looking for. India has made a huge progress in expanding literacy to approximately 2/3 of its population. India's improved education system is often cited as one of the main contributors of the economic rise of India. Much of the progress in education has been credited to various private institutions. The private education market in India is estimated to be worth 40 billion in 2009-2010. And it will increase to 68 billion by 2012. Despite growing investment in education, 35% of its population is still illiterate, and only 15% of Indian students reach high school, and just 7% graduate. One of the primary reasons in these institutions that we face shortage of education infrastructure, expert faculty. Approximately 57% of college professors lack either a master's or a PhD degree, and concerns have been raised over the quality of education. Step by step, HERE wants to bridge this gap in collaboration with good universities like Emory, which has vast expertise and experience to overcome these fallouts. The larger Indian companies like the Infosys can afford to train their workforce, but the smaller companies are left in the lurch and they're looking for educational institutions to do this for them. If we are truly to break out into being a superpower, we have to build up institutions in higher education that are truly world-class and have state-of-the-art facilities, especially research. Emory University is a prime example of such an institution, and we would be honored to have some alliance with it as we create a center of excellence in higher education in Jaipur. We need business schools like the Goizuta Business School that focus on developing principled business leaders who create value for communities. Goizuta students benefit from the school's strong ties to Atlanta business community, and that is what makes it so very special. The best practices as followed at Goizuta need to be replicated in India to bridge the education industry gap. I would go to the extent of saying that we would like to create an industry-driven consultancy that teaches students rather than just another business school. And I hope it's not going to be so difficult for them to be in India. What is difficult is it took me a while to pronounce Goizuta correctly. I rehearsed almost 10 times before I thought I could be correct on that. A dynamic university should prepare a student for the ever-changing global world using innovation and technology. Technopreneurship must be fully understood by educational entrepreneurs and managers. This university will concentrate on delivering market-aligned and industry-specific curriculum to its learners to make them fully employable and ready for the world. We want to be able to help students understand who they are and find a job that they love so much that they will never have to work again in their life. Business could work with universities to sponsor students studying subjects relevant to business, such as science and technology, provide financial support to new graduates through bonuses when they sign on with the firms, offer more opportunities for internships, placements, work experience, or projects, view working with universities as part or core innovation activity. The humanities are what makes us human and will be strongly encouraged in all the pre-professional education we impart. The Emory College of Arts and Sciences would be an ideal partner to lead in this effort. Indeed, in survey after survey and survey from all the industries, including engineering industries, the quality of graduates most in demand are not technical or scientific, but those who have received a liberal education. Let us understand the education stack as it exists today. Foreign Education Institution Regulation of Entry and Operational Bill is at present pending for approval, and it should be passed very, very soon. The Union Cabinet Minister for Human Resource Development, Mr. Kapil Sibal, is himself spearheading this movement, and this will pave way for entry of foreign educational institutions to India. The progress on the bill has been rapid since the past 1 year. It was already announced in May 2010 that they're going to come out with some substantial efforts in another 2 months, but I think they've asked for some more time before they submit their reports. But Mr. Kapil Sibal has already done huge amount of changes in the education scenario of India, and we hope to see more changes taking place. Typology of current foreign collaboration in India and modes of collaboration delivery of FEPs in India. When we look at the slide, you'll see the US with 46% and UK 55. Sorry, this is 46 institutes of US are in collaboration with us in India, and they are about 55 of the UK. Others are 25 and Canada 11. There are different kinds of operations that exist today. The modes of collaboration are different with different universities. So in all, there are about 641. With this large number of students going to the US and other countries for higher education from India and Asia, there is an insatiable demand, and a number of institutions would be required to fulfill this gap. Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, Boston University are already in the process of opening campuses in India. Boston has tied up with the dentistry college that's coming up. Virginia Tech is going to begin its operation in Chennai very soon. Johns Hopkins is in conversation with IHMR of Jaipur for public health. So there are lots of dialogue that's already on. Jaipur is poised to break out as India's newest IT and industrial destination with the coming up of the Mahindra Special Economic Zone. The proximity of the university to the SEZs, which is the first major hub of Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor, would be an added bonus. When I see the horizon, I see the brilliant hues of a new dawn. I hope for the sun rays to be provided by a university such as Emory. We stand at a turning point in history, and we owe it to mankind to transform education and think globally. To reach the golden era of knowledge, to be able to do that, we first need to understand the basic difference between the Indian student and the American student. The Indian student is the nerd, and the American student is the cool guy. Generalizations are not really the order of the day in a globalized society, but let me make an attempt. The Indian student is diligent, hardworking, competitive, and driven. The American student is a critical thinker. He is an inquirer with creativity ingrained in his core. Combine these two, my dear, and you will have winners for sure. An American institution on Indian soil will be able to do just that. Once these centers of excellence have come up on Indian soil, There would be an exchange of students both ways. Today, the US is worried about the declining number of its students taking up science and math. Engineering schools in the US are full of Indian, Chinese, and other Asian students. The US Secretary of State, during a visit to India, urged a cross-exchange of students for mutual benefit. Indian students get critical thinking and creativity, while the American students get the diligence and perseverance for higher education. It's that simple or it's that difficult. There has to be a pot of gold at the end of this rainbow of colorful ideas and a win-win situation for economic viability for both Emory and Step by Step to be established in Jaipur. The number of international Asian students in the US is over 400,000, with India topping the list. Due to social and other compulsions, an even larger number of students do not get to study at the international destinations. There is a great hinterland of people in Asia which offers a great opportunity. The dearth of good quality higher education institutes makes it even more lucrative for an investment. Further, the pressures of population produce competitive students eager to make a mark for themselves also. Education is recession-proof in a country like India, with a growing population and a steady growth rate. The Indian government is positive and is looking forward to collaborating with the US government and the private sector in the fields of education and infrastructure. All we have to do now is to get together and produce the people capable of leading this global community for mass impact. We need to open up our markets and our minds to each other and understand the host of opportunities that can spring up from our interaction. We need to stand at the interface of business, engineering, art, and community and create a vibrant tomorrow together. I believe in loving children and youth no matter what. I believe in people and the goodness of humanity. I believe in today's youth and their abilities. I believe that youth of today really want. I hear their heartbeats and I see stars in their eyes. I believe in the power of intrinsic motivation as the only real educator. I believe there is something special in each student and the facilitator needs to find that. I believe in the American creativity and research. I believe in the Indian diligence. I believe it's time we put it all together and transform higher education in India. I believe Emory and Step by Step can be friends. And I believe my time is up. Thank you.
The preceding program is copyrighted by Emory University.